Jang is a top-ranking gangster, and is well respected by his men. He is the right-hand man of the chairman who leads a notorious criminal organization. Unlike some petty gangsters, their organizations are more advanced with engaging in investing and acquiring cash cow companies as their normal operation. However, they still don't forget to teach the lowlives some lessons should the necessities arise. One sunny day, Jang goes out to dinner to reminisce about his past of eating mackerel ramen. He asks for the woman who used to make the ramen for him, but the woman is not there. He spits the ramen out and immediately pays for the bill. At the same time, a fat high school boy named Kim has to leave for unknown reasons, but has lost his wallet and is not able to pay the bill. The owner asks Jang to pay for Kim's bill, to which he reluctantly obliges. The owner says that she will give him a small gift later. Jang then drives his car, but he is stuck behind a dump truck. He gets out of the car to call his assistant. On the other hand, Kim is bullied on a rooftop. Unfortunately, his foot slips and falls straight onto Jang. Jang finally wakes up in the hospital, but he finds something weird. Everyone keeps calling him a kid despite being an adult. He wanders around the hospital and finds a man laying on the bed. Turns out the man is actually Jang himself. Jang is now living in Kim's body as a fat high school boy. He keeps trying to convince everyone around that he is not Kim. Despite this, nobody believes him. The doctor says that he might mistake his identity for someone else's due to retrograde amnesia from the collision. After some thinking, Jang finally realizes that Kim is actually the kid from the ramen stall earlier, and his current condition is the small gift that the stall owner has mentioned. He rushes to the stall to find that there has been no ramen stall there for years. He then goes to his home to convince his wife of the misunderstanding, but of course she doesn't believe him and reports him to the police instead. Not giving up, Jang bumps himself into his actual body in hope of swapping back, but he fails. When he is doing that, Chol, Jang's assistant, comes and sees it. He becomes furious at the kid for doing something inappropriate to his boss's body, not knowing that his boss is now living inside the kid's body. Chol then tells Jang to stay away or he will beat him. Can't do anything about his condition, Jang is obliged to live his life in Kim's body. At home, Kim's dad cooks a lot of Kim's favorite food. Jang wonders why there is so much food on the table. He is confident that there will be a lot of leftovers. But, he loses consciousness upon eating his first bite, and waking up with empty bowls and a full stomach. Morning comes, and Jang starts his new life as a high school student. There, everything feels so new to him. He also sees Hyun, Kim's friend, being picked on by the bullies. Not only her, but Jang is also picked on by the bullies who usually bully Kim. They invite him to an after-school fight. However, this is not the usual Kim that they have been trampling on. This is Kim with the heart of Jang the gangster. After beating the bullies, Jang asks them whether there's anything Kim did that makes them dislike him. The answer is no. The reason is just because Kim looks like a loser and has always been an easy target. At one chance, the bullies are picking on Kim's friend. Luckily, Jang is there and the bullies fear him. Jang beats them once more and confiscates their phone. From the recording, he finds that they are the reason why Kim's collided with Jang that fateful day. After getting a better grasp on the condition, Jang decides to meet his loyal assistant Chol. He decides to convince Chol that he is Jang, a high school boy. He comes to Chol's office, but he doesn't believe him at first. But, Jang knows how to get his assistant's trust. He tells everything that nobody knows about Chol, and it works. After gaining his trust, Jang asks why Chol has been guarding his body at the hospital. To his surprise, Boss Yang, Jang's competitor, knows that Jang is in a coma and is looking for the right time to kill him. Unbeknownst to him, Jang is already awake, but in another body. The next day after school, Jang is on a call with Chol to plan the next action. Suddenly, Hyun runs towards him and accidentally drops a doll. He decides to return it to her and chases after her. When he finally catches up, something unexpected happens. He sees that Hyun's mother is actually his ex-girlfriend, Seon, that he has dumped for his current wife. Jang reminisces about his past when he used to eat mackerel ramen with Seon, and wonders whether Hyun is actually his daughter. Some time later, Jang asks Chol to run a DNA test. They take Jang and Hyun's hair and run the test. Jang is shocked to find that Hyun is actually his daughter. Moreover, he starts feeling guilty as he can't be a good father and husband for his daughter and Seon. After that, he starts to defend Hyun from the bullies. Still unsatisfied to make amends, he consults with Chol about what he can do to approach Hyun and Seon. Chol recommends something that will strengthen the mind and body, so he plans to lose some fat and learn martial arts with Hyun. He then invites Hyun to work out together under a trainer, who is actually Chol himself. Hyun wants to cancel the training but Chul insists. And so, the training that will change their lives starts. At first, Hyun is easily defeated by Jang and Chul. However, after some training, she managed to defeat Jang and became an expert in martial arts. Jang, on the other hand, is already a fighter, so he focuses his training on trimming Kim's body fat. He relentlessly runs until his body becomes lean and look fresher. Jang grooms himself. He changes his hairstyle and uses soft lenses to make him appear less of a loser. The new look is so attractive that many girls start to like him. Even the boys are gasping for air upon seeing his new look. Meanwhile, Kim's dad has got a bonus from his workplace and plans to have a feast with his son. Suddenly some loan sharks come and beat him up. Jang comes to defend him, and masterfully evades the sharks' attack. However, Kim's dad doesn't like violence and protects him with his body instead, until he faints. Jang then sends Chul to beat the lowlives. He breaks into their den and starts a fight. As a master in hand-to-hand combat, Chul defeats them one by one, despite being greatly outnumbered. The strategy works. Kim's dad then gets a call from the sharks, that all of his debts have been erased. Not only Jang's life, Hyun's life is also getting better. She starts to speak up and defend herself against the bullies, making them both fear and respect her. Upon hearing that her daughter can defend herself at school, Seon thanks Jang and invites him to her bar for some mackerel ramen as gratitude. They converse deeply and Seon starts to notice that she is actually talking to Jang himself. Some drunk customers then come into the bar. One of them slaps Seon's private area. Jang becomes so angry and invites the drunk guy into a fight. Jang calls Seon by her first name, further confirming that she is talking to his ex-boyfriend. After ensuring Seon's safety, Jang fights the drunk customers, who are of course no match for him. After the fight, Seon confronts Jang and he has to explain who he actually is to her. He tells her about how he switched bodies with Kim, but Seon doesn't believe him. Once more, he tries the same trick he did to Chul. He tells her everything he did with Seon when they were young, and even states a certain mole on Seon's body. After hearing all of the evidence, Seon finally believes that she is talking to Jang, the man who has left her. Seon becomes furious and questions him why he hasn't looked for her for years. She kicks Jang out of her bar and tells him to stay away from her daughter. The following day, Hyun sits with Jang after school. She wonders what he has talked about with her mother. She is curious as Seon has told her to stay away from him. Suddenly, the student council president approaches them. He invites Hyun to his birthday party at his villa this weekend, which makes Hyun blush as she likes him very much. Some time later, Hyun accepts the invitation and comes to the party. She is happy that an outcast like her could join the party. Meanwhile, Jang invites Seon to a cafe. There, he plans to apologize once more for everything he did. But Seon doesn't accept it as Jang can't change anything now. Seon has raised their daughter by herself and he doesn't have any rights to take care of her. She is also convinced that Jang wouldn't look for her if he hadn't accidentally switched bodies with Kim. Seon decides to leave Jang. However, Jang chases her and kisses her lips, just before Seon reaches the exit door. The action makes Seon very angry that she slaps him and wants to drag to the police. When they are about to go to the police, Jang gets a call from Kim's friend. He overheard a conversation between the girl bullies that Hyun might be in danger at the party. Jang immediately leaves Seon and asks Chul to get him a car. He then rushes to the party to save her daughter. There, he sees Hyun being surrounded and humiliated by the boys. Jang can feel that Hyun is feeling unsafe and needs help, but the boys don't let her leave. Then, they invite Jang to a fight, not knowing that he is an actual gangster. With just one motion, he knocks a bigger guy unconscious, making the start of their fight. Despite being outnumbered, he can easily throw them off. One of the boys invites him to a face-punching contest, but he also beats him and knocks him down. Meanwhile, the council president tries to hit Hyun, but she masterfully evades the attack and cracks his balls instead. The two then get out as the winner. After a while, Chul meets Jang and informs him that his wife has an affair with his competitor, Boss Yang. Jang's wife and Boss Yang have conspired against Jang. So Jang writes a letter to Chairman Jang's father-in-law. He tells him everything about the conspiracy and explains that he is actually the victim. In the hospital, Boss Yang comes to kill Jang. Suddenly, Kim wakes up from his coma and startles Yang. This Kim is a wimpy high school kid with the body of a feared gangster. Kim gets back to his home and meets his dad. But, his dad doesn't believe that he is his son, as he is as old as he is now. Fortunately, Jang gets back home too and meets Kim for the first time after the accident. They explain everything to Kim's dad. Wanting to make things better, they agree to help each other. The two then meet Sion in her bar. They lie to her, saying that they have switched their bodies back. Jang asks Kim to apologize to Sion for his mistakes years ago. However, Boss Yang and his henchmen come to the stall. They look for Jang and try to kill him. Jang orders Kim and Sion to hide in the kitchen. Wanting to get the problem done, he immediately starts the fight with them. Jang evades their attacks masterfully despite being surrounded, and counters their attacks. Seeing that his men are down, Boss Yang sends his best fighter to the fight. Jang is caught off guard and is thrown by him. However, he prepared himself and managed to fight on par with him. They exchanged blows and pins one another down consecutively. When Jang is about to finish his opponent off, the other guard hits his head with a bottle, making him lose his balance. Still not giving up, Jang manages to pin down his opponent, but he is caught off guard once more. Luckily, Sion comes out with a leaking gas tank and a lighter in her hand. She threatens everybody on fire, making the thugs flee the scene. After the commotion, Sion finally forgives Jang and is willing to accept him to get back to her life. After a while, the chairman invites Jang to his place. He wants to clarify about the letter that he has sent. Seeing that Jang is the victim, he rather offers Jang to be his successor instead of his good-for-nothing daughter. But, Kim refuses it on Jang's behalf. He doesn't want Jang to be a criminal anymore and live a regretful life. When Jang meets Kim, he thanks Kim for his wise decision. Unfortunately, the chairman's daughter plans to hit them. But as Jang is aware of the situation, he saves Kim and is hit by the car instead. He is heavily injured and taken to the hospital. When Jang is about to die, both Jang and Kim suddenly switch their bodies back. 6 months later, all of the bullies were transferred to another school. Kim and Hyun return to the school as the new king and queen. Jang has also left his gangster life and gets back together with Sion. He finally understands the most important thing in life, which is family, and leaves all of his criminal life in the past. Jang has bought a better place for Sion to run her restaurant. All of them, including Kim's father and Mr. Chul's, works for her as an employee. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like and comment to help the channel. Thank you for watching.